me say something about Long Island. What do you think about? You think about Monte? You think about Pharaoh? You think about the #1 wrestling show in Long Island? That's what Tommy Wildfire Rich thinks about. So, ladies and gentlemen, as a good friend of mine on Georgia Championship Wrestling said to me one time, he said, ladies and gentlemen, don't miss it. Be there.
Yeah, baby.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monte and the Pharaoh, only produced and seen out of Indie Music TV, live from Ronkonkoma, Long Island. At the board, Matty Ice, day 2. Got your microphone on?
Yeah.
All right. We got a long weekend ahead of us, brother. Great show, great job yesterday. You did fantastic. Everything was on cue. You are the man.
Thank you, thank you.
To the right is the star of the show.
Where?
The icon.
The icon.
The master.
Yeah, click on me. I'm an icon.
The king of the ring. Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, how are you?
Holy Mabel, Batman, king of the ring.
How do you like that intro?
Yeah, that was cool.
Makes you feel good about yourself, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, sure, why not? I'll go with that. Yeah, good morning. What's up, folks?
Do you touch yourself to pictures of yourself?
What? After that Wet Hot Pussy song we covered the other night?
Yeah, that's right.
It's tempting, but no results yet.
Speaking of that, great show yesterday.
Thank you.
You were off the hook.
Well,
Thanks for the laughs.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I want to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monte and the Pharaoh. Our own Jimmy Pharaoh, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain, and Riding High, our theme song. You can find their music on Spotify, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. If you did not know this is the Monte and the Pharaoh Show, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. You can catch Monte and the Pharaoh on the Monte and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Facebook Live page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, and in New York on New York Cable, Channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30. And for early risers on Saturday, that's tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 6:30. And then on Channel 20 for the late night freaks, tonight, it's actually Saturday morning at
I resemble that remark.
2 a.m. to 2:30,
Nice.
where you'll catch the star of this broadcast, the Metal Maniac, in a reduced version of this interview.
Condensed. Go on.
All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break with pro wrestling superstar, the iconic Metal Maniac.
Brother Daddy.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump. What? No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com.
Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs, call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics, pride, performance, and partnerships.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV from Long Island, New York. And I want to welcome our special guest, the Metal Maniac, Mr. Maniac. Thank you for joining.
The Metal Maniac, it's the Metal Maniac, brother, joining you live from the pinnacle of professional wrestling right here in the Hawaiian Islands. And I am on worldwide satellite TV, coast to coast, all around the world, on Monte
and the monkey. I'm sorry, Monte and the Pharaoh gimmick. You people know what it's called. I'm on so many broadcasts. I don't know if I'm coming or going. I do know I had one of these for breakfast. Where is it? Whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't know where the camera went. Well, I'm not plugging this, but it's pretty good, this Maui stuff. And it's infused with the gimmick. Wow. Wow. So, look at, honest to goodness, I have been waiting to be on the Monte and the Pharaoh show because I know you're on Spotify. I know you're on iHeart. From the shores of Pensacola to the sands of Waikiki, from New York City to the Kwajaleins, people in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, even, like I said, the Kwajalein Islands. That's way out.
Well,
and those guys love Monte and the Pharaoh. Believe it or not, I spoke to people in the military who were stationed there, and they said, you're going to be on. I said, how did you guys know? Said, we're on a nuclear sub. We know everything.
That's it, brother.
You're quite
In fact, you know what? Got to give you a little bit of credit.
my God.
When Jimmy and I first started this venture, you were one of our first guests. You were kind enough to come on the show we were on, so we got to thank you for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, Metal, if I could tell you one thing, there's some big news in the horizon for Monte and the Pharaoh, and I'm just going to give you two initials. FT. People could figure it out from that.
Let them figure it out from there.
Anyway, how you feeling, man?
FT.
I know you had some health issues in the past. You okay? How's it going?
Yeah,
brother?
you know, everything's fine. You know, I just, I don't know. Can you guys see? I got to hold on to this thing. All right, so what happened was, I don't know. My neck years ago in 2001, I had a plate put in right here, C6, C7, like Stone Cold had, but not as bad. And it was just hurting me, and every once in a while, I need to get a cortisone shot in my trap muscle because it stiffens up. So I go in, and they check me out, and they always check your blood, anything from your chin to your waist. So that as I'm getting a CAT scan of my neck, I hear the guy say, take a CAT scan of the heart too. Then all of a sudden they're rolling me into this place, and then I find myself getting what they call a stent. I didn't have a closure. I had a closure that was going to happen. And that's different. So all they did was they said, look, we're going to vacuum it, but if it starts to go down like this, that means it's going to close, so we're going to pop in the stent. And that's exactly what they did. I didn't feel anything. I was there for a couple of days because my body doesn't like medicines, so they watched me on the medicines they were giving you. And I started at 6 medicines, and I immediately got cut to 4 and then down to 3. And they said by the end of the year I could be on 1, and if I'm really good, I could be on none. Because they actually did not have a heart attack. It was just one of 6 arteries that you could have needed a stent. I only needed it in 1, and I was very lucky that I went in that night because it closed while I was asleep. That would have been a problem. And I know what my brother over there, you know, he wasn't feeling so hot himself too, but he's doing very well. And, you know, we just all you gotta do is walk, exercise, drink a lot of lemon water, and, you know, don't eat whole foods with some greens. That is your best bet. Absolute best bet. So everything's doing good. And let's face it, if I would have missed being on this show, I would have told them, look, just leave me croak. So I'm doing just fine.
Beautiful. Glad to
now,
hear it.
Talking about new beginnings or the old days, whatever you guys were talking about earlier, I heard you talk about something. And I want to show you guys something I've never shared. I've been on a whole lot of podcasts, but I have not shared this, and I want you to see this for yourself. Let me see. Wait a minute. You see this drawing?
You're on a bit of a delay. Give us a sec.
Okay.
And,
God forbid this should go right.
and drum roll.
Can you see it?
Sure.
Yeah, right behind you. It's
Sure.
beautiful.
It's right in front of my face.
Oh, there it is. Now we
This
see
is
it. There you go. To the
yeah.
left. To the right.
This is
You're right, Jeff. Move
yeah.
it to your right. Stop.
There you go.
to the left, to the right.
Wow.
Nice.
This is what I envisioned before I put on the gear. You know, this is what I envisioned. My hair was in the back, and I was just, you know, I was thinking about Freddy Krueger and the mouth in the drawing, and I was thinking about, you know, kind of like a kiss thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't know what it was going to be called, but then I came up with this name, the Metal Maniac.
Where's that
Okay,
drawing?
and this is
Jeff,
the-
where's that drawing taken from, please? What are we looking at here? Who did the artwork?
You're looking at what was my I'm an artist. I drew this,
There we go. Okay.
and then I came up with the name,
Right.
and the first thing that came out was, and I don't know, can you read that or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
We got it now. Yep.
Wait, let me try to see if I can't turn this right here.
Looks good, Jeff. Everybody can see
I
it.
feel
Looks
like I'm
good.
looking at the first Kiss album when Peter had the cat makeup that wasn't perfected yet. This is like your early sketches,
Right.
huh?
Right, but do you see what that says?
I can't make that out. Mike, what do you got? You know I'm blind as
Oh, wait a minute. I got it
I'll
right
read
there.
to you. It's okay.
Here's an athlete that could have gone in a totally different, come the other way. You got to turn it the other way, Jeff.
Direction.
There you go. Whoop.
Hilarious.
There you go. Totally different direction. The Metal Maniac was once an accomplished musician, but now his accomplishment is ripping opponents limb by limb. Photo by Ron Lawton. I hope that's right. I don't know.
All
Nice.
right. Well, this that was in the very first magazine I appeared in from Bill Apter.
Wow.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, there's some. There are some things here that I've never shared with anyone. That I'm putting together a book, you know, and some of these things will be in here. Here's a picture when I was creating the character. From ECW when they used to wrestle at the bar on 13th Street in Philadelphia, and this is 1992.
Eastern Championship Wrestling days.
Yep, it wasn't called Extreme yet. It was called Eastern Championship Wrestling. The gimmick, I just hadn't settled on a gimmick yet. I was still in the processes of going through that, you know.
Right.
And I was very fortunate. Oh, here's look at this.
Nice.
There's a picture of. So I have a picture right here of the Pharaoh before the Pharaoh was the Pharaoh. You ready?
Yeah, let me hear it.
You ready?
Let's see.
Here it is.
Here comes
He
the
wants to
pitch.
see. Here's the Maniac.
I don't.
And there's the Pharaoh. Hey!
What did he just show?
I think.
What is he
No.
getting at?
I think.
It's a good thing I didn't even make that one out.
There's
Okay.
the Maniac. There's the Maniac. And there's the Pharaoh.
What is he
Right
doing?
there.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm showing you a picture. Look at her. She's very lovely, right? That's the Maniac. I called her the Pharaoh. I'm telling you.
Oh, there's a Pharaoh. I
Instead of
got
calling her Pharaoh, instead
There
of
you go.
calling her the Pharaoh, I was going to call her the Pharaoh, but I figured out I called the Pharaoh. Now that's you.
But by the way, I dig that whole Conan picture. That's a good setup there. Who came up with that idea?
What Conan picture?
Dude, that's like a Conan thing. Like you're Conan, and that's the chick from Conan, isn't it?
Oh, you know, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I took that face paint from the Conan the Barbarian movie and put it on her. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's exactly what I did. And here's another one of the. Here's another one. I think you'll like this one very much right here. This was
Got
a
any shots
picture
of being like next
taken-
to a fire hydrant, maybe, perhaps? You know, no.
What?
At least I got him laughing at that one.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, so, she was very, very lovely.
Jeff, I know it's
Wow.
a basic question, and I'm sure you get it all the time, but could you fill some of the fans
Yeah.
in that aren't familiar with your career? What made you, get started in all of this in the first place?
Listen, I was a musician. I was working at a recording studio called the House of Music in West Orange, New Jersey. They did all the Kool and the Gang records, George Benson, Weekend in L.A. record, big record. They
Nice.
did the Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell record.
Nice.
They did a lot of big names.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working there when I was 12 years old, sweeping the floors just so I could be around the place. And eventually, I was playing music and I was playing in a band, and one thing led to another. We get signed at the same time as Twisted Sister and Zebra.
Okay.
This is before Bon Jovi existed.
Okay.
And the drinking age in the state of New York and New Jersey and those areas were 19. And we used to go to a couple of bars in Staten Island. We used to go to Lemore's,
Sure.
Brooklyn. We used to go to Lemoore East. We used to go, remember the places.
Those are
White
legendary
Tiger.
clubs. They're legendary clubs from back in the day, of course.
White Tiger used to play there, and Zebra from down south, and Ace, what's a TT Quick? That was a
I love TT Quick.
DC. Yeah,
I love them. Yeah.
So all
Sure.
those guys, and Twisted Sister. Remember Twisted Sister? They used to get all pissed off at people. People in the front row would be like this, and Dee Snider would be like, "Hey, get the frick out of here! If you don't want to jump up and down like everybody else, go to the back or get the hell out."
There you go. By the way,
That's how it was.
we were talking just last night on last night's show about the bullshit that, and I know you're a big metal fan, the bullshit that the metal fans went through back in the '80s, being typecast. Any thoughts on those early metal days?
What do you mean typecast? What were they typecast
Well,
in?
a lot of metalheads had to go through a lot of shit. I'm only speaking from personal experience. I don't know if you remember that Say You Love Satan stuff, but when that kid from Long Island killed somebody, and then he's on CNN with his AC/DC T-shirt, the next thing you know, we have Tipper Gore going batshit, and we actually, thank God, had people like Frank Zappa and Dee Snider representing us in the Senate. So I was just curious.
Yeah,
as to,
I remember those days, but honest to God, they were making a big stink. Those people have nothing else better to do. They can make money. They get paid. They go up there. They're supposed to make $125,000. They end up with $5 million homes. Give me a break. They're up there making hay. And
Right.
Dee Snider was not until this day, he's no sissy, and you went up there to tell him a thing or two.
Yep.
And if they didn't like it, it was too bad.
Yep, and he
And
tore
so
them apart.
they got
were
spanked.
intellectual midgets compared to him and Zappa.
And the other thing is, don't forget now, Zappa was nobody's fool
Right.
in another way, in a
Right.
completely other way, So,
Right.
But,
So how does
getting back to
the music take you to wrestling?
Well, what happened was this: if you wouldn't interrupt me, you goofball, I'll squeeze your head like a pimple. I'll beat you up so bad you'd be calling for help through a seashell.
All right, get on your surfboard. I'll see you in 7 weeks.
I've seen better heads on lettuce.
Oh my God.
So,
Says the walking
or
advertisement
cabbage.
for abortion.
How about
Here we
cabbage?
go. Here we go.
yeah, here we go. I'm the poster boy for why you shouldn't have children unless you have a license. So, all right. So what happened was I was playing music and wrote some songs, and the next thing you know, we get signed to a record deal from Sony, but within a week we get dropped from the label because Tony Bon Giovanni's older brother, who's Bon Jovi, his older brother, he's got the singer on a contract that he will not allow him out of because he doesn't want that guy's voice against his brother's voice who's about to come out. I wanted to strangle Tommy Mottola, who I know since I was a kid. I wanted to strangle him, and I wanted to strangle the guy who wrote the songs. I forget that jabroni's name. And but my cousin said, "Listen, you can't beat these people up. We're making millions of dollars. What are you talking about? You can't do that." So I had to let it go, and I went on vacation, and I met one half of the original Islanders, Siva Afi. He's the guy they tried to turn into Jimmy for about a week and a half when Jimmy first left years ago. Well, he ends up getting the Peter Maivia tattoo and telling Vince, "Screw you, I'm not doing the job for the Ultimate Warrior on Saturday morning. People in Samoa believe, screw that." So he left and he went to work for Burt Reynolds in Florida as a stuntman, and I met him at a bar, and one thing led to another. We became friends. Then I said, "I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay with my family down there." I got a job at the same bar I met him at. I called him. He wanted some extra money, so we both start bouncing together at this bar. And that's where it started. The next thing you know, 3 months later, he said, "You should be in the business. I got to raise my son down in Hawaii. Why don't you move?" And my ears went, Hawaii? I always wanted to come to Hawaii. I was always in love with Hawaii. When my mother's sister came to Hawaii, I was so mad she didn't take me with her. And then I got the opportunity and ran like hell. Right out of Newark Airport, TWA direct, right into Honolulu. And got a place, got a job, and Monday, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, we'd go down to Leah Maivia's ring, The Rock's grandmother's ring. And this is, if I was 24 or 25, Dwayne had to be 15, because he's 10 years younger than me. So, I didn't see him back then. I just knew his grandmother very well, And I had like 2 shows, and the next thing you know, I had gotten some information how to get some bookings, and I made some phone calls and said, I'm friends with this guy, I'm friends with that guy, can you help me out? Next thing you know, Tommy D in New York booked me, and then Todd Gordon booked me, and Johnny Rods had some of his own shows, Hillbilly Cousin Luke had some of his own shows, and there was a bunch of independents. Mario Savoldi had some shows. There was a bunch, so that's how I just went from the drawing to going to ECW. I walked straight in from where the marks get dressed, where the marks are, before the marks are in the building. I get dressed over there. I don't know to walk in, sit down, be quiet. I walk straight by the boys. I walk right into Jimmy's little office there, and we start talking, blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Look, I've got this angle today with you, tomorrow, and then I'm supposed to come back next month. And I don't know anything, Jimmy, and I'm from Hawaii. Can you help me?" And he said, "Yeah." I had met him a couple of times, but he didn't know me like this. He knew me like with my face washed from the gym. We smoked a joint in the back of the gym, and so that's how he knew me. So when we did this one thing, the next day we did a pull apart. The weekend later, it was me against Hillbilly Cousin Luke on Tommy D's show. Tommy D shows him a picture of me all dressed up. He says, "This guy?" And it looked a little different than the suit I had yesterday, because I hadn't settled on a suit. And so Jimmy said, "No, I don't know the guy." So I come walking in with my face like washed, and he says, "Hey, brother." And Tommy D says, "Jimmy, I thought you said you didn't know him." He said, "I don't know him like that. I know him like this." And so I worked that night, and this is what happened. I worked with Cousin Luke, and I know I got a bunch of bookings over the next few weeks before I go back to Hawaii and try to book myself again. So I'm up there, and I do this move where, you put your leg across the back once, you put your leg across the back twice, and you go for a third, and the guy moves. Well, when I did that, I hit my knee, and I said, "Go home." So he covered me, and we went home. Now, in the back, Jimmy said, hey, bro, come to the hotel. We're going to talk. I said, all right. So I go there, and he says to me, hey, bro, why did you do that? Your parents, your mother was there. Your family was there. Why didn't you go outside and fight your way back to the thing? Because why lose a match? You know, you hurt your knee. I said, well, I got a handful of bookings. I don't want to lose them, and because I'm hurt right out the gate. So he said to me, yeah, but you should have known. You've been in the business long enough. And I go, Jimmy, what are you talking about? I just started. Like, the only ring time I have is with Siva in Leah Maivia's ring, and last weekend with you, and today. And that's it. And so he said to me, okay, I got to help you. I, you know, anybody that could just walk in like that, take your time, hit once, flex, make, you know, the people pissed at you, and whammo, and flex again. I got to help you. I got to help you because you fooled me. I was like, Jimmy, I didn't want to fool you. I'm not looking for any trouble. He goes, no. He goes, look, kid, you were only out there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. If you were been out there 10 minutes, I would have known. But because you were only there for 5 minutes, you fooled me. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. And that's where it started. He immediately put me on the phone, said, call this number. I said, Mr. Snooker would like to talk to you. I had no idea. I'm talking to Mario Savoldi. And he gets on the phone, Savoldi, Snooker, put this kid on the show. He looks good. He sounds good. Put him with me. He's got 5 shows. Put him on all 5. He's going to take me to the hotel, everything. And so Mario said, okay. And that was it. That was the beginning. And we were together like peanut butter and jelly ever since on the road.
Well, now that you brought him up, right? Your name in the wrestling circles, your name is synonymous with the great Superfly Jimmy Snuka. I know this is a touchy thing.
That's
we
right.
know that Dark Side of the Ring did the whole, you know, what we'll call drama-mentary on the Nancy Argentina situation. And I know you've told the story. But at any point, did you ever question in your mind whether Jimmy had done this or not?
You know, I never knew until the late 90s, number one. Number two, I never asked him about it. It was none of my business. And I surely didn't believe it because I saw how he treated me. He treated my schoolmates. He treated my mother and her sister and my uncles and my other aunt and my cousins. I saw how he treated everyone and how he never let me pay for a sandwich. He always did the right thing. I never sit with all the years I was with him. I would be the one to be going, damn it, and banging on the dashboard. He'd be like, brother, relax, man. It's okay. Nobody gonna remember. I'm like, I'm gonna remember, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, relax.
So did that documentary hurt your feelings? Were you upset over it? Were you upset that they didn't call you about it? Did you feel they would just...
Well, first of all, I think that they came to Hawaii. I think they asked for me, and I think somebody, I don't know who, but somebody said, no, he's not here. That's the gist of what I heard since I was asked about it before. But this is the thing. I'm in his biography, so I never read it, but I don't need to. I lived it. So you would think they're coming to Hawaii, they would want to see me, number one. Number two, I mean, you said it. My name is synonymous with him. And, you know, when Jimmy left at ECW, he told me, listen, I know these are just independents to you, but one day it's going to mean something to a lot of people, including the business itself, that we went out and did this thing. And brother, you got more matches than anybody I've ever worked with, which is true. I have 747 matches with him.
Jeff, do you feel towards the end of Jimmy's life? I'm just speaking from my own personal opinion. Did you feel that it was a bit of a witch hunt when they were trying to go after him over the Argentina situation? Because I was fortunate enough to have met him only once, and it was towards the end of his life, and he was definitely struggling with his mental facilities at that point. Do you feel that they were just trying to prey on a guy who could actually not even defend himself at this point in a court of law?
Well, I mean, if from the outside looking in, you could tell they didn't want to carry the burden of his medical facilities. You know, they didn't want to take care of his medical and bring him to hospitals and doctors and pay for all that. That's not what they wanted. They were looking for somebody to put in jail. And I think that God decided to take him before they did. That's what I think happened. What I can tell you is this. I watched the show, so you already know going in that if you're going to watch this show, it's going to be slanted towards negativity, and that's how they get people to watch. Second, I think Tonga Kid just forgets the days. I'm telling you, he wasn't in the car that day. And the reason why is because even on the show, they said that, you know, he was driving him, but didn't mention him by name. And then they said the girl took over the driving spot to get Jimmy where he needed to go because Jimmy couldn't read or write. But they didn't say that. They said he just needed somebody to take him. They didn't say he really couldn't read or write, and English was not his first language, or his second for that matter. Jimmy could speak better Japanese and Fijian and Samoan than he could English. He didn't know the difference between T-H-E-R-E, T-H-E-I-R, and T-H-E-Y-R-E. He didn't know the difference between those three. Absolutely not. He had baby English at best. Listen to his interviews. He sounds like the guy from In Living Color, the anticipation of the proclamation of the centroid of the quadrant of the, you know, I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Now the other thing was, so if Tonga forgets the day, which believe me when I tell you, I forget a lot of stuff that my girl says, what are you talking about? First day we met, this is what happened. I'm like, no, this is what happened. So we both remember it differently, but the fact is, when Jimmy used to ride together with me, or I'd ride together with him, he constantly would want to piss. And he'd want to pull over on the Long Island Expressway, or the New Jersey Turnpike, or the Garden State Parkway, or the friggin' Blue Route in Pennsylvania, or the other Route 93 that could take you from western Massachusetts all the way to Boston. Okay? He'd make me pull over because right there, or otherwise he'd piss in a bob. And I was just so grossed out by that. I said, all right, I'm pulling over. So when Jimmy said, bruh, on the TV, they said he said that he pulled over on the side of the road. Oh, I'm like, oh, that sounds about right to me.
Right. So, Jeff,
that sounds about right to me.
Jeff, I want you to hold that
thought.
thought.
So, you know, it just pissed me off.
Jeff, I want you to hold that thought, like holding your piss from putting it in a bottle. We're going to take a quick commercial break, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on to your goofballs. We'll be right back.
The switch.
The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence. Collision Specialists. 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design. That's right, folks. Canine Corral for all your dog daycare and overnight care. Call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Well, here we are, the Monte and the Pharaoh show. Although Monte and the Pharaoh had to take a break, you have a special surprise guest over here today in the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan and the Reinforcer Andrew Anderson as we discuss life, wrestling, the daddy brother of the Metal Maniac.
Jeff, are you there?
Surprise! Brother, you missed
I
it.
can't believe it. Bro, I miss you, but you know, I have to say, Kevin Sullivan, I've never been able to say this to you because we've spent lots of little bits of time together.
Yes,
But I
man,
gotta
brother.
say,
Are
brother,
you trying to say he's little?
brother,
Are you trying to say he's a
no,
little
I'm
bit
saying that. No, I'm saying that over the years we've spent time, but small bits of time, never long periods like the two of you. But I gotta say, Kevin, honest to God, brother, you know, I don't want to ever leave this earth, or anybody leave this earth without you hearing this from me, brother. There's a lot of people that call themselves smart or brain or one of the brains, and my goodness me, the things that you have concocted and come up with and had your hand in, I mean, it's just not real.
Well, now he's
absolutely not
now he's
real.
concocting and working and putting together along with James Beard and
Teddy Long.
Teddy Long and Mark Henry an amazing product called SWE Fury.
Well, as you
I
know,
see
Jeff. Jeff, I stole everything from Curtis and Lewin. You know, actually, all I'm doing is regurgitating the knowledge that they passed on. I mean, you've been around every great guy that drew money that ever came through the islands, including yourself. I mean, it's pretty hard not to be able to put something together back in the day when Mark and I first went to Honolulu, and they were drawing $9,000 every 3 weeks. And then 6 months later, we did $260,000 at Aloha Stadium. All I did was listen to what those guys had to say. And, you know...
I saw the films. When I first came here. They had them on.
Yeah.
I saw all the films. You on the beach with the purple haze and everything on the beach, and you were like, we're gonna pull your skin off your face.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you guys were out of your mind.
But we also had Curtis, we had Brody, we had, you know, that was the Rock's, as everybody knows, Leah is the Rock's grandmother. We had that
That's
territory
right.
was an open territory where we had shows where we had the WWF guys on, the NWA. Me and Mark actually wrestled Fuji in Morocco when they worked for the WWF, and we were working for the NWA. We had Inoki on the show, we had Brody on the show, we had the original Sheik on the show, we had Hanson on the show. But I mean,
Bundy,
my favorite of all the Hawaiian
Angelo
wrestlers,
Mosca.
Angelo Mosca goes on and on and on. But in my belief, I don't think there was a better talker. As great as The Rock is, I think The Rock got his speaking ability from watching King Curtis on the beach enthrall people just by talking to them. There was never an order like King Curtis, and I've told Andrew about him. He's been around him a little, but when Curtis talked to you, you were mesmerized, and I think that is where The Rock got his. I mean, The Rock is the star of stars now, what he's done in Hollywood, but you being a wrestling historian, I ran into this agent, and his name was Dave Vanderhyde, and the book is called Old School Ring Squared. And most wrestling books are done, historical. This is a historical novel, and if you get it, I want you to read it, Jeff, and try this, and tell me who you think these characters are, because you know who the characters are. They're just changing the names to protect the innocent. But whoever got this knowledge, it goes so deep in our business, and I don't want to get into a lot of it. I think people should read it. You're going to be able to pick out characters that you and I knew. So
yes,
I'm going to let Andrew take it over
He
from me.
messaged me one day and said, "You got to really read this book." And I started reading the book, and I'm wondering, the stories sound vaguely familiar, but with different twists on it or different perspectives. He said, "You got to read this book." So I read this book, and I said, "Who wrote this?" I said, "This is just incredible." And we were trying to figure out for the longest time who the writer was. It's got to be a shadow writer or something, right?
something's happening to the audio.
So,
Hello?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
I can't hear you, Jeff.
Something's happening to the audio.
I got you. Something's happened to the audio.
Can
again.
you hear us, Jeff?
Hello?
Yep, I think his
I'm
internet's
losing you
again,
guys somehow.
so-
But I can hear you.
So you guys just keep talking.
yeah,
Well, I can hear him. And,
Well, Jeff, we can hear you,
Shit.
so we'll keep on talking.
just keep on talking. Stay in place.
I want to ask you, you're living in Hawaii now, am I correct?
I don't think you can hear
Okay.
us. Well, let me tell you a funny story. Jeff was one of the people directly responsible for breaking me into the pro wrestling business. I was bouncing at a bar in North Jersey, and I was working as an investment banker during the weekdays, and I was bouncing on the weekends. And the funny story is that Jeff walked in with Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and I was throwing somebody out. Jeff was coming in, and I looked at this guy with this mullet, and right behind him was Superfly. And after I threw the guy out, Jimmy said to me, "I want to talk to you." And that Kevin, that's how I got in the business. It was I was carrying Jimmy and Jeff's bags for the longest time before that. I was the bag boy for about 6 months.
Well, I'm on my 4th generation of Samoan wrestlers, and I had the pleasure of wrestling in Samoa on a few occasions, and they're amazing athletes. There's disproportionate number, as Monte and the Pharaoh know, there's a disproportionate number of island boys, whether Tongans or Samoans, that play in the NFL, and it isn't by chance. I mean, we go back to Haku, Barbarian, Jimmy, The Rock, the great Peter Maivia.
Siviafi.
Sivi Alpha, the original Samoans, Roman Reigns. But I'll tell you one of the things that is always stuck in my head. I got to meet Peter when I wrestled in San Francisco. And I came in there when Ray Stevens left, and to follow in the great Ray Stevens' footsteps was something. But when I saw Peter was such a big raw bone guy. He was about 265 pounds, and he probably was a little over 6'1". But his vertical leap, his vertical leap was like they do in the NFL. I saw him leap one time and this is when in San Francisco in the Cow Palace, the ring was raised exceptionally high from the floor because the building was so big. I saw him vertically leap like Brock does onto the apron, and I thought, my God, what an athlete. And that's what, they're some of the greatest athletes that have been in our business. And, this story started with Jimmy Snuka. And the crazy thing is, a lot of the guys that got in the business because they were there that night when Jimmy jumped off the cage onto another Hawaiian, Don Morocco,
Madison Square Garden,
who is one of the great Hawaiian athletes of all time.
Oh, I think we were talking about great talkers. I think Don Morocco was one of the greatest talkers that ever was. Also, he's underrated, as well as being one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I'll always say he's the original Rock. He was just amazing. So he was right up there with. I think he got a lot of his stuff from Curtis too.
I think everybody that went through Hawaii tried to learn under the learning tree with King Curtis. Curtis was, to me, the greatest talker I ever saw, and at least in that generation. Dusty. I would be around great talkers, and whether it was Dusty, Superstar, Blackjack Mulligan, I'd ask them who they thought was the best, and they all said, there's nobody better than the King. The King of Swing walked the Milky Way one more time.
Jeff, can we hear you? Can we hear you out there yet, or is the audio still down?
Jeff is gone.
He's gone.
Jeff has bailed, so...
He's powdered.
Well, we'll talk about... let's talk about what's going on in the wrestling business. We've been in Texas, and there is a movement in Texas. It's called SWE Fury.
Yep.
And Andrew, you're a big part of it. So tell us about some of the guys like.
Oh, we got a lot of hard-hitting action out of Texas style of wrestling. Everybody compares us to world class now. Amazing athletes. The big feud of the year over there is definitely Max Castellanos versus Moonshine Mantell. I've been in the ring with Moonshine, and Moonshine's no laughing matter. He's a talented kid, and his opponent is quite a talented guy. And these guys are going to go places. You have amazing cast and crew. I like to say it of behind the scenes of Jazz running the women's division. With Malaya Hosaka and other people involved, and obviously Teddy Long, James
General
Beard.
Manager.
Yep, the general manager.
Then we have
and yourself,
the great Mark Henry, the strongest guy.
Mark Henry contributing with a lot of the seminars and in charge of a lot of the students that are coming in. He's really taken a.
What did you think of the last card where we had Davey Boy Smith Jr.
versus the Blood Hunter?
Blood Hunter was an incredible hard-hitting match.
Yep.
We had Rodney Mack,
Yep.
who looks like he was sculptured.
Yep.
Hard-hitting. We had a new tag team, the OMGs, who actually started. They've been in the wrestling business for a while, but they came out of Rodney Mack's camp 6 months ago, became tag team champions.
Yep.
They had the star from the past. I always say that SWE Fury reminds me of the past, the present, and the future.
Absolutely.
And it's a great blend.
Absolutely.
The next show is when, Andrew?
The next show is going to be March 20th, and that is in, I want to say, Canton, Texas. And then our next show after that will be April 24th. It's pretty amazing the amount of crowds that we've been drawing. I can't fathom when when Texas fully opens up how many people we will draw on these shows. It's just pretty incredible. I mean, the fan response has been tremendous, and I guess it's because we're putting out a product that's different from everything else. Yeah. I mean, Jeff was saying how you were one of the most brilliant minds in wrestling, and obviously I concur. You're throwing Teddy Long's know-how, yours, James Beard's know-how for years of working with New Japan and World Class. I mean, it's a no-win situation. I mean, it's a no-brainer, a win-win situation. And the women's division is the one I'm really excited about.
Can I interrupt right now about the women's?
Yeah.
When I saw Teal Piper on the card,
yep.
I mean, the daughter of Roddy Piper is going to have a segment called Teal's Tomb, a play off their real last name. I mean, and then we got Gangrel coming in.
Yep.
Mil Mortis. They have...
we just had Lacey Von Erich, the daughter of Kerry Von Erich.
Tim Storm. Jax and Crimson. There is a whole load of great talent from the present. And that's what's a pleasure to see, is these guys who have put in the time, who have learned the craft, are starting to bud. And they're starting to shine. And I think what makes me the happiest, each show you can see the growth. Last show, they hit the capacity. They could have only 1/3 of the capacity. They hit it. They turn people away. When it looks like Texas is opening up next show, I'll be interested in seeing this. They're in 31 markets around the country. There's a lot. Oh, we had Trevor Murdoch defend
defended the NWA national title. Yep.
Yeah, so
we had Trevor Murdoch, and of course,
Charlie Haas. We didn't
Charlie
talk about
Haas, the heavyweight champion. The heavyweight champion, Charlie Haas. I mean, he beat Tim Storm for the belt. So how amazing. The intensity of Charlie Haas is just incredible. The man's a total maniac, and we're managed by the same manager, Nigel Rabbit. So we're technically in the Rabbit Empire. And, of course, you can't forget my dealings with the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
And I didn't eat the worms.
Yeah. And the other thing is, from what I hear, one of the big matches coming up is going to be Monte and the Pharaoh against two of the ladies wrestlers. And,
Jello. Or it was going to be...
it was going to be a
hot
oil match, and I'll be glad to see that.
Yep. Jimmy Pharaoh, covered in hot oil.
Yeah. So I think they're going to defend their belts. Monte and the Pharaoh have not been beaten in a hot oil match in the last 16 years. The last time was between Moolah and Joyce Grable.
Oh man, Pharaoh's going to be angry, boy.
Mike Monte, can you imagine Mike Monte in a Speedo?
Oh boy. That's scary.
Rolling around with some of the female athletes.
That's scary stuff, man. You don't want to talk about that stuff. Look out. You guys like the Abbott and Costello.
Oh yeah, look, I got the hat too. Whoa, 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 whoa. You got your hat, your fedora.
How did you guys meet?
Me and Kevin?
Yeah.
We met. Well, we met
a long time ago. WCW.
Yep.
Yeah. Andrew was a big time power lifter, and
I was trying out.
Yeah, and he just had the look, and he was a natural. And as you know, you've had him great talker.
But I never got picked up. Oh.
We always talk about great talkers. He's one of the great talkers. So I think that finally his ship has come in with this SWE Fury. Tom Lance has been working hard at this for a long time. Craig Massey now is the attorney for some of the
attorney for
wrestlers.
SWE Fury, yep.
So this should be very, very, this year, hopefully, when we're opened up all around the country, we will see SWE Fury in markets outside of Texas.
And you can't forget, you got another second generation female wrestler in Miranda Gordy.
Yeah.
So Terry Bam Bam Gordy's daughter.
I don't mean to
Go
interrupt,
ahead.
but I seem to be doing that quite a bit.
It's all right.
But the other night in the ring, we had a Gordy, we had a Von Erich, and a Piper at the same time.
Amazing, right?
That's pretty amazing.
Amazing.
I wish someone had taken. I'm sure they did. But that picture is worth volumes.
That event could have been called Generations.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. So he had a great amount of talent in coming out of the Texas area. And it's not only from Texas, the talent is from all over the country. And we just happen to be converging in Texas because Texas is where everything has been pretty much opened up. And it's, right?
Yeah, and I forgot, we were talking about young talent, that Bam Bam Malone.
Oh, Bam Bam Malone. And
the guy's 400 pounds, can move like he's a...
No, Bam Bam Malone was the tag team. He's tag teaming with Road Warrior Animals, Heartthrob.
I'm sorry, yes,
Yep,
yes.
they were in the tag team tournament.
But I meant to say that he's very, very muscular, very, very fast, and you're going to see some guys come out of there, and you're going to say, I remember seeing them win.
And how about that monster, Diamos?
Oh,
That's with Teal Piper in the House of Heathens.
Yeah.
That guy is like a combination of a Goldberg Luger, just a monster, jacked up. And then you can't forget that match with Harry Smith and the Blood Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was pretty.
And then next show we got Gangrel coming in.
Gangrel's coming in. And,
everybody seems to be knocking on the door to come in.
It's
so
great.
It's going to be
It's
interesting.
Great. And
Do you
Teddy
guys
Long
wish
has his hands
you
full.
were a little younger so you could work with this talent?
Do I?
Yeah.
No. They're so good. They're so good. I mean, I don't. One of the things is, yeah, in a way I would, but I'll tell you something. I was watching some old clips of football players, and yeah, they were good in their day, but it was their day. I'm a firm believer in what Satchel Paige said. Don't look back. Something may be gaining on you. You can't live in the past. You can have enjoyed it, but you have to move on and look forward to different things. But this is a whole different training routines, eating. I just read that last year, LeBron James and Tom Brady both spent over $1.5 million just on nutrition, special diets. So, back in the day, the guys didn't get paid that way. So,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
wow.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
brother,
sorry,
daddy,
brother.
daddy, brother, what happened? We thought a
I'm
tsunami
sorry, brother,
came.
man.
We thought a tsunami
Then
came
I
and
saw-
washed the maniac away from the
That-
shores of
Listen,
Waikiki to the
Jeff,
beaches of Pensacola.
I think you had a flashback and you were up in Cocoa
I had
Head.
I had a flashback of myself and that cookie in 3 days and 3 nights watching the sun rise and set.
With Curtis.
Kevin, tell me.
Chubby
Kevin,
Chubby
Kevin,
dummy.
tell me something.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
tell me something, Kevin.
Yes.
Tell me, years ago,
Yes.
there was a woman that Curtis used to talk about. He said the lady, the one-eyed lady on the 49th floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who the hell was the lady from the 49th
It
floor?
was some lady that he met that had a condo, and you were talking about you had the cosmic cookie with Curtis,
Yep.
and you had 3 days of sunrise, sunset. I think Curtis had 7 days with the lady, the one eye, sunrise, sunset. So I mean, some of the great times we all had were on top of Cocoa Head looking at Diamond Head with Curtis. I remember I was up there one time with Henning, Mark, I think you were there, Hawk, Rocky. There was just a host of great guys.
Well, Jeff, you introduced me to the King. Remember, in 2000.
Yeah, we went up to his house,
We
you
went up to
know,
his house.
and Curtis was cool. He always would tell me stuff, and one day, as you know, he tells a story. It's like a rapture.
Oh my God.
So he's got me in the front of his van, and we're smoking a big fatty Mac Daddy about the size of my finger over here. And this is what he does. And Kevin, Drew, you did this, but Kevin knows exactly what I'm talking about. This is what he does. He said, as he's talking to me, he's getting closer and closer, and he's talking softer and softer. And as he's saying to me, Jimmy Snuka was young Mr. Hawaii. He had a body of a lion. And when he said that, my head smacked into the door. And Curtis was laughing his dolos off, going, I had you eaten out of my hand, kid. I could have made you fall onto the floor to listen to the story I was going to tell. And he was right.
When you introduced me to
I
him,
swear.
When you introduced me to him, I just remember the van pulled up and the billowing smoke out of the van. It was like he had his own entrance, and the eagle has landed. Remember that? The eagle has landed. He put that foot down, held out to the side of the van, and the other foot came down. And that was all I remember first meeting Curtis.
Kevin, I don't know what Drew has told you, but all I can tell you is the night that he was at that bar, he flew over me to get to Jimmy.
Yep.
He was the biggest mark, which that's fine because we're all marks for the business, and we're all marks for each other, and we're all marks for everybody and the thing and the whole gimmick. But Drew was like, he was a linebacker. He was running in there. Now, mind you, Drew wasn't as big as he is now, and he isn't as strong as he is now, but he still was big and strong. And he blew past all these 9-to-5 ham and eggers, and he was right on top of Jimmy. He was on top of him, literally on top of him, like, oh, Jimmy, can I get your autograph?
And I didn't ask him for his autograph. I said, Jimmy. And Jimmy looks at me and goes, brother. And then you looked at me and went, oh, whoa, don't get too close. I remember you saying, don't get too close.
Well, don't forget, when we would go out with Jimmy, there would be a lot of people, like, we'd have to like, keep people back and say, okay, 2 at a time. And, and then, the funniest stuff, honest to goodness, really, I mean, what Kevin was talking about, all those tapes that were down here of World Pacific Championship Wrestling, everybody from Rocky Johnson to like Frank and Bundy and Stan Hansen and the guys from the South, and you guys. I mean, there were people coming in and out of here, Kevin. This was a hot spot. Yeah. This real hacksaw. This was a real hot spot for wrestling, and now, Ultimate Fighting sells out, but wrestling, Vince could bring everybody, The Rock, everybody. I've seen it, and he can't put 7,000 people at the Blaisdell. Yeah. But you guys, like you said, you had turned around a small little thing and exploded it, and you guys took it as far as, I remember seeing Curtis do interviews with his back towards the TV, and they would say, why can't you turn around? And he would say, if they want to see me, they can take their chubby fingers and put them in their pockets and come pay to see me.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, Jeff, I got a question for you. Who was the first person to gorilla press you? Who was the first person to gorilla press you?
Well, the first person to gorilla press me, or the first person to I reluctantly let gorilla press me. Which one is that?
Reluctantly.
That's you. That would be you. That brother. He throws me off the top. That's not enough, Kevin. Yeah. I just had the cervical spinal fusion. He picks me up and he goes to throw me into the 5th row where there's just marks. There's no workers. He just wants to throw me. So I hooked the top rope at the end, and I flew him down to the floor. And I mean, I hit it. I'm saying to myself, what is wrong with this guy? He just he got so excited. Here, it's right here. Look. I just want to know. See, I saved everything. Hey, look, Kevin. Look at he's slamming me. You see? Oh, look where my feet are, Kevin. They're in the lights for Drew. Look, the feet are in the lights for Drew. Look at that. That was his hot spot.
He goes. He says to me. He says,
what the hell?
He goes, don't slam it. Don't slam it. Can we hear you? Can we got you? I still got you, right?
No, I got you.
Oh, you got us.
I got you. I can hear you good.
Oh, look at that picture.
Got you. Hey,
pull that up. Look at that. Look at that. Look at a young Anderson.
Yeah.
Put it up higher, Jeff.
Well,
can you see? Can you see this picture?
Over. There you go. So, a little more. The other direction. The other direction.
So you still playing in the rock and roll band in Hawaii?
I still play music and I still keep my chops. But we did a 6-year deal for USO and the Military's Welfare and Recreation Department, and it was a Journey tribute show.
Separate
the
ways,
guy
right?
was from Long Island. Yeah, Separate Ways, Hawaii. And
well, guys, Jeff.
but if you go,
Jeff, we're getting the We're getting the old cue to wind it up.
They gave us the Iggy.
Hey, I really appreciate you getting a re-talk to you after all these years, and God bless and good luck.
Yeah, me too.
I love you, buddy.
Thanks, brother. I'll be seeing you guys down the road when this COVID is over with.
Aloha.
We'll go up to Diamond Head and maybe have a cosmic cookie, 1 or 2.
Taste the cosmic cookie.
And we'll go close down Drew's favorite sushi place.
Good night, guys.